I fucking love fighting. I love the pre-fight build-up, I love the post-fight aftermath, I love the fighters, I love the fans, I love the promoters, I love the coaches, I love the media, I love all the technical people doing technical shit, cutmen, ring card girls, commentators, announcers. I love the art of it, the science of it, the violence of it, the humanity of it. I fucking love fighting. I don't give a shit if it's a green fighter on the prelims, the best in the world headlining the card, or two local amateur fighters who can't throw a fucking jab. If it is fighting in any capacity, I am interested. Which is not to say that there's not bad fighting, because there is. There are fights at local shows that look as organized as two bodies careening down a mountain at 100 miles per hour. But whether I am watching a master technician expertly picking apart their opponent or two jackfucks throwing haymakers, it is compelling. It's just compelling for different reasons. You see, unlike other sports, combat sports don't just decide who gets the title or the trophy or the money. It's not just who won and who lost. There is something else going on. In fighting, the victor can win in a variety of different ways, be it a knockout or submission or the ruling of 3 judges. But what if you stripped all that shit away and you put those two combatants in a field with no crowd, no cameras, no John McCarthy? The answer is that the winner would have killed the loser. They didn't make more baskets than them. They didn't throw more touchdowns than them. They didn't sweep more, however the fuck curling works. They won a game of life and death that was stopped before it could go there. Fighting is not a game with a ball. There is no goalie. Nobody is wearing their fucking pajamas and running around little white diamonds. Fighting doesn't need to be explained to a person who's never watched it, because fighting is the most root, the most basic, the most fundamental form of human competition. Hundreds of thousands of years ago, our ancestors were kicking the shit out of each other. It is hardwired into our understanding of what it is to be a human. Early humans weren't playing fucking board games and paying hundreds of dollars to get their kids the equipment they need to be on the football team. They were sitting around saying, fuck, it sucks not having iPads. Let's punch each other in the face while our friends watch. It is the original sport, which is why a whole bunch of people hate the shit out of it today. They think it's barbaric. They think it harkens back to a time before there were rules and civilization and baristas with green aprons writing your name on a little foam cup and bringing you stimulus you need just so you can find enough motivation to tolerate your fucking day. But at the end of that day, when those people get home from their jobs that they hate and they finally crawl into bed and all the noise and the deadlines and the responsibilities fade into the background, they are just like those early humans. Flesh, bones, muscle, blood. The truth is, we want to think we're different because we travel around at 70 miles per hour in giant chunks of steel. We flew to the fucking moon. Harry Potter happened. But it does not matter what we achieve, because when you strip it all away, we are still just humans, and fighting is our nature. It is as natural to us as taking a piss, but it goes beyond that. Watching fighting doesn't just fill some basic need to see people get the shit kicked out of them. I can see that on YouTube via a portrait-style cell phone video right now. If you're watching fighting at the highest level, you are not watching your local supermarket cart boy taking on a fucking CPA. You are literally watching fucking superhumans. These people are not like you and me. They can fucking run up a mountain at 30,000 feet with a mask on that takes away all their fucking oxygen and then spar for 5 rounds when they get to the top. Fans look at a guy like Dan Henderson and they say, you're fucking old. Get out of the sport, you fucking old guy. 44-year-old Dan Henderson is in better shape than every single 20-something in any room he walks into. If Dan Henderson goes to the grocery store, he has the comfort of knowing that he can outrun, out-endure, and absolutely destroy every other human being in that entire building. I mean, can you fucking imagine that? Can you imagine that you are that much better than everyone else at an age where most guys have gained 15 pounds and throw a fucking tantrum when the DVR doesn't record the end of their favorite show? And he's on the fucking tail end of his career. These fighters, you might see them in public and they look like us, but they're not, except in one very specific way. And it is the #1 reason I fucking love the shit out of fighting. Fighters are still people. They may be highly skilled, highly motivated fucking super people, but they're people. And because they're people, they have emotions, they go through highs, they go through lows, they have character flaws, they fuck up. And no other sport can ever show us what a human is really made of like fighting can, because the stakes are physical harm. Wow, Roger Federer really showed us what he was made of when he hit that green ball to the space over where that other guy was standing, but he didn't hit the green ball. And man, I hope he's okay after he scraped his knee. Hopefully the country club has some gauze. Are you fucking kidding me? Are you fucking kidding me? You wanna see drama? You wanna see what someone's made of? Fuck The Walking Dead. Watch the beginning of the 3rd round between Donald Cerrone and Nate Diaz at UFC 141. Nate Diaz spent the better part of the first 2 rounds beating the fucking shit out of Donald Cerrone. Donald's face is fucked up. He's taken 5,200 punches and kicks to his head. His body is everything. And they stand up for the start of the 3rd, and the camera cuts to Nate, and he gives Donald the finger with both hands because he's Nate Diaz. And then the camera cuts to Donald Cerrone, and the look on his face. The look on his face is not anything the best fucking actor in the world could replicate. This is a man who is trying his hardest to physically dominate another man, and he is not. He is losing. and he knows he's losing, he doesn't need to see it from the judges. And the look in his eyes says everything. I can't even put into words what the expression on his face was, because I'm not sure it exists outside of getting the fucking shit beat out of you and still having the balls to do it again for another round. Cerrone tries his hardest in the third, he throws some big shots, but in the end, it is not enough, and Nate does in round 3 what he did in rounds 1 and 2. It was a great fight, but Tommy, you just said one guy beat the shit out of the other guy. Nobody likes a blowout. That's the thing about fighting. A fighter can lose, and I'll become a bigger fan of them than I was before that fight, not because of how they did, but because of how they handled it when the shit got bad. I don't know how it feels to lose an NBA final, but I know how it feels to lose a fight. That is something I can relate to. That's something we can all relate to. So, the fight ends between Nate Diaz and Donald Cerrone, and then something awesome happens. These two guys who were just trying to kill each other, who clearly don't like each other, as was evident by Nate's message before round 3, they share a handshake, a moment of solidarity, a mutual respect that can only come from two people beating the shit out of each other. You can watch every movie that's ever won the Oscar for Best Picture, and you won't see the highs and the lows and everything that encompasses the human experience as you would in that one 15-minute fight. That single fight. And there have been hundreds of fights just like it, if not better. I fucking love the shit out of fighting. Not because I'm a violence junkie, not because I have a favorite fighter. Truth be told, I don't give a fuck who wins and loses. I fucking love fighting because it strips away everything that we are but our humanity. And no matter who you are, no matter what country you're from, or what you believe in, you can relate to fighting. You can understand it, because fighting is who we are. Fighting is the universal language because humans have been fighting since humans were humans. I fucking love the shit out of fighting because I'm a person.